Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days in today's second video. Day 10 will take us around the 19th of February. We are extending out beyond that. We extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They run to around a couple of weeks. Going to have a look at CFS V2 at the end of video. For the next 4 weeks, that will take us into the early part of March. The ECM 30-day look ahead, talking about a month ahead forecast, ECM 30-day look ahead has been released for the UK and for the rest of Europe, Northern Europe as well. So check that one out if you have not yet done so. We're going to be doing ensembles watch, I think, type in. Sometimes we do ensembles watch. So how do you fancy that? Let me know in the comments if you'd like a little ensembles watch tonight. Probably around 8ish, I would have thought. Now, before I get on video, I've got to say thank you so much to our latest channel member. We've got 70 channel members now. The GWV. This is absolutely unbelievable and amazing. So thank you to all of our channel members. And special thank you to the latest channel member we'll shout out today, which is It's Ceres, or It's Ceres. So thank you so much, my friend, for becoming a channel member for GWV. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Thank you so much for doing that. Got more channel members to shout out in the coming days as well, and a couple of PayPal donors as well. So yeah, all of the shout outs are coming in videos this week. If you'd like to become a channel member of GWV, all you need to do is come to GWV's YouTube homepage, click the join button, take you through to another page where you can go to see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member, and you can sign up on that page as well. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. We've hit 10.6k subscribers. Got to put on around about 80 now to get to 10.7k, and leave us with just 300 to go. To get to 11,000 subscribers. The subs are going up so quickly this week. It's absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe it, how quickly the subs are going up. Thank you so much to all of you for subbing. If you're new to the channel, I mean, we must have got a lot of new people around the channel watching videos. If you are new to the channel, then please make yourself known in the comments, in the live streams, and we're happy to, happy to see you. Thank you so much for subbing. If you aren't yet subbed to the channel, then please subscribe to your friends, family, everybody else who subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody. Doing that. Right, let's get on with it then. Another cold day out there, another bitter day. These are our latest temperature observations from XC Weather. You can see that widely, many parts of the country are below freeze. We've got -7 there, still at 12:38 across the far north, Scotland, out Nahara. Bitter cold through there. But elsewhere, like it's around or below freezing. Bedford is at freezing, for example. I've got Bean Hill at -2, snowing there, I think. Benson is at +1. We've got Tour Western Aerodrome at freezing. Norwich is at freezing as well. Wittering is at freezing. East Midlands is at freezing. Nottingham is at freezing. Into Wales, we've got Shawbury, or just in North West Midlands. Shawbury at 1 degrees. Into Wales, we've got Lake Birmingham at -2. Capel Currig at -1. We won't move on from that place, I think. Mumbles is at +2 as well. Heading into Northern England, Teesside is at freezing. Warcop is at freezing. Chatterhall is at freezing as well. Drumalbin is at freezing also. Strathallan is at -1. Aberdeen is freezing down to Northern Ireland. We've got Belfast at +2. And in far southwest of England, even there it's been snowing this morning. In Cornwall, Land's End is at freezing. Absolutely incredible how cold it is. And this cold is going to last through the next few days as well, and into the weekend. Not only cold, it's also snowing out there as well. This is the latest radar picture from the Weather Outlook. So we've got more snow showers in the east, pushing inland now into parts of northwest England, northwest Wales, for example, through the Midlands. Area of more persistent snow, perhaps through the southeast, through the Thames. And some really heavy snow showers, producing longer spells of snow, parts of eastern and southeastern Scotland as well. Add on the dew point, this is all snow, as the dew point is at or below freezing. The precipitation type, of course, looks a bit patchy, but I can tell you, but nearly all of this is snow. So it's cold and wintry out there again, of a bitter day with these easterly winds, and yeah, more snow to come in the next few hours, the rest of this afternoon into tonight Tomorrow we'll see that the snow shower dying back towards the east coast as a ridge of high pressure builds down from the north. Watch out for a very severe frost tomorrow night, Wednesday night to Thursday morning. Could be exceptionally cold for some of us. Central temperature is dropping away, so the CT now stands at 4.1. That's 0.4 of a degree and half degree below average. That's provisional to the 8th of February. Obviously, that is going to tumble away even more. That's absolutely going to crash in the next few days. And we'll see by the weekend where we are with that. It will be interesting to see, won't it? These are the GFS upper air temperature precipitation on Salford today, northwest of England. So the red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Salford. Obviously, we're bitterly cold at the moment. We're going to stay bitter cold for the next few days as well, running up to the middle part of February. Now, over the weekend, we're going to see the upper air temperatures beginning to start moving upwards a little bit. It will still be cold on the surface for many of us over the weekend. And as a south-southeast wind gets up, I think it will feel really quite raw and bitter over the weekend. Into next week, that rising temperature continues, so it does look as though next week now could start to turn milder. However, don't completely rule out the possibility that these cold outliers down here might be right. They're keeping things much colder. So this is the reason that I want to go through the GFS ensembles tonight. Have a look at how many of these ensemble members are keeping things cold into next week and how many of them are turning things milder. So we'll find out tonight when we do Ensembles Watch. But what we can say is that there are several ensemble members that want to keep things cold, maybe even strengthen the cold actually, with that one anyway, into the second half of February. However, the majority of these ensemble members are turning things milder next week. So we might see an end to this cold spell over the weekend and into next week as well. We could see an end to the cold spell. But again, don't completely rule out the possibility that, don't completely rule out the possibility that the cold air could hang on. Precipitation-wise, can be a lot of dry weather, of course, while it's cold, although not completely dry. As already established, there are snow showers around, so quite a bit of dry weather coming up over the next few days. As we go into the weekend and next week, particularly next week, got to turn a bit more unsettled. Obviously, that might involve snow in the transition from cold to mild. It might even involve some freezing rain early next week, so that could be something to watch out for. But eventually, as it does get milder through next week, then the emphasis will start to shift back towards rain, I suppose. But I'm not entirely convinced that the Mars have got this right with this rather rapid switch to milder weather next week. So let's just wait and see how it all plays out, shall we? Right then, so the temperature anomaly from the 9th to 17th of February looks like that. Colder than average, and a cold week coming up for much of the UK and for most parts of Northern Europe as well. Looking really cold there, for example, through Germany, where we're going down to around 8 to 10 degrees below average. Much of Eastern Europe, Ukraine, into west of Russia, bitter cold through there. Most parts of Europe won't truly in the freezer in the weekend. Just really Spain and Portugal, that's a little bit milder average, and probably the far north of Scandinavia, actually. But of course, it's going to be very cold there anyway, due to the time of the year. Precipitation anomalies from the 9th to 17th of February look like that. Largely on the dry and average side through many parts of the British Isles, becoming a bit wetter across Ireland, but largely dry and average. I would expect these to start trending more unsettled in the coming days, perhaps. This is the latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net, showing that easterlies are in. Look at this long fetch easterly, absolutely incredible. You can actually see that the easterly is like here, really, which is like the far north of Russia, up here. And you can follow that back through there, into the Baltic Sea. So this is like west of Russia, of course, here. This is like northeastern Europe, where we've got the easterly through. Goes through the Baltic Sea, through Denmark, through the North Sea, into the UK, into Ireland, out into the Atlantic Ocean, up to Greenland, and into Canada. Absolutely unbelievable how long fetch this easterly is. Let's show it again. It goes all the way from there, through there, and then into Canada. just there. Incredible reverse zonal flow. Instead of a westerly from Canada to Russia, we've got an easterly from Russia to Canada. And of course that means that the jet stream is pushed down there into middle of the Atlantic and into Spain and the Mediterranean as well. So that's where the westerlies are. So very unusual pattern, of course, something that we haven't seen in winter for a very long time, this sort of level of block. You've probably got to go back to the winter of 2010, I would have thought, to find this kind of pattern. In the middle of winter, obviously we had it in March 2013 as well, but for the middle of the winter, you've probably got to go back to 0910 or to the December to remember. I'm not sure the December to remember even had this sort of long fetch east. I think that was more sort of northeasterly. So you probably have to go back to 0910 for the last time that we have this kind of very long fetch easterly in the middle of winter. Incredible. I think that does make this a beast from the east as well, actually, to be honest. So I know there's been some debate about whether or not this is a beast from east. I think it's a beast from east because it's a long fetch easterly, but we are dragging in from the east, from Russia. And like, I mean, this is a UK Met definition of the beast from the east. They do not talk about temperature at all being important for whether it's beast from east or not. This is what they say. The beast from east is a phrase used to describe cold and wintry conditions in the UK as a result of polar continental air mass. The beast from the east is a phrase used to describe cold and wintry conditions in the UK as a result of easterly winds from the near continent. When pressure is high over Scandinavia, the UK tends to experience a polar continental air mass. When this happens in winter, cold air is drawn from the Eurasian landmass, bringing the cold and wintry conditions that give rise to the beast from the east, Munkia. The characteristics of the air depend on the length of the sea track during its passage from Europe to the British Isles. The air is inherently very cold and dry, and if it reaches southern Britain with a short sea track over the English Channel, the weather is characterised by clear skies and severe frost. With a longer sea track over the North Sea, the air becomes unstable and moisture is added, giving rise to showers of rain or snow, especially near the east coast of Britain. UK's lowest temperatures usually occur in this air mass, lower than -10 Celsius at night, and sometimes remaining below freezing all day. Polar continental air only reaches Britain between November and April. At other times of the year, the source region is neither cold nor snow-covered. And winds from northeast Europe bring a form of tropical continental air. They do not talk about temperature other than light staying around freezing, and can stay around freezing, and temperature getting down to -10. By night we've had that, we've had ice days, having an ice day again today, had temperatures below -10 across parts of the country. Actually, the night's going to get even colder in the coming night. So you don't talk about upper air temperatures. My minimum requirement, really, for a beach from the east is like with -10 Celsius isotherm. I look for -10 Celsius isotherm, say it's a beach from the east. They don't even mention that. So based on the UK Met definition, this is 100%, no doubt about it, no debate, a beast from the east. Sorry for those of you that don't think it is a beast from the east, but based on the UK Met definition, what we're experiencing right now, fits absolutely 100% the criteria for a beast from the east. Right, let's move on with generic charts then. This is how the UK Met is looking. High pressure for Friday. High pressure is over Scandinavia. Low pressure is out in the Atlantic. We're drawing in a very cold southeast wind. There could be some snow in the west and in the southwest as well. We go through into Saturday. Again, low pressure west, high pressure east. We're drawing up winds a little bit more from the south now. They will still be cold. We'll still bring the air in off the continent. So away from perhaps west of Scotland and Northern Ireland, where it might be a bit milder with slightly more Atlantic influence. Generally, this is still freezing cold as we go through into Saturday. Sunday, again, high pressure to the east, low pressure to the west, wind coming up from the south. That's still going to be very cold, I think, for southern and east airs. West airs might now be starting to get a little bit milder, probably bringing a band of rain in from the west as well. The ground will be frozen, though, so that's where we might have to worry a little bit about freezing rain actually, towards the end of the weekend and into early next week. And then that's Monday. Again, there isn't going to be a weather front here that's pushing across the country. It's really struggling. I think still probably very cold in the east, even with this. Out in west, probably getting milder as the wind is beginning to draw up off the Atlantic. There might be snow involved with this, despite the southerly wind. There could be snow pushing across the country. Don't rule out the chance of freezing rain there as well. So could be quite an interesting weekend, beginning of next week. This is how the GFS 6 said. It's talking again, high pressure over Scandinavia, low pressure in the Atlantic, drawing up a cold or a very cold southerly to southeast wind on Friday. Into the weekend, it remains cold, really high pressure to the east, low pressure to the west. The wind is coming up from the south. You would look at that and think it's mild, but the source of the air is going to be cold. So although the upper air temperatures are beginning to lift up, particularly so in the west, you can see that the dew points away from like Ireland to West Scotland anyway are well below freezing still at 6 a.m. on sunny one. So despite that southerly wind, it will be a very cold southerly wind as well, really bitter because it's quite a strong wind. It's still going to be freezing cold on the surface. Now, of course, what I have to consider with this is where we've got the green area, where we've got the yellow area on the upper air temperatures. The green area, within that green area, between the 0 Celsius isotherm and -5 Celsius isotherm, it can snow. It probably will snow if there's precipitation. Where we go beyond the green area into the yellows, though, and that's this area just here, it cannot snow. If the upper air temperature goes above freezing, it will not snow. But if the dew point is still below freezing, you can see that dew point is widely still below freezing across much of the country, then what will happen is it will rain and the rain will freeze. So this is where I'm beginning to wonder a little bit, not only about the chance of some snow maybe at the end of the weekend, the early part of next week, but possibly even the chance of some freezing rain. I would not completely rule out the possibility. It's one to watch. Go through to Monday, and again, real battle going on to try and introduce this milder air. So I think even here, it's still pretty cold for southern and eastern parts of the country. And then through the middle of next week, like we do start to bring up some milder air from the south bed, I think. So it takes a while, but eventually the GFS 6 does get us into some somewhat milder conditions as we go through the weekend, through the early and middle part of next week. So we're up to day 10 now with GFS 6. The wind is coming up off the Atlantic. Now, it may still, even at this point, this is Friday 19th of February, could even still be, even at this point, it might still be quite cold for East Anglia and southeastern England, with the air still drifting off the continent. But most places, I think, by then, have turned milder. You see the high pressure tries to reach back in from the east again. So that's trying to get wind back round into like a continental southeast and pull colder air in from the east once more. So we may go into a drier, frostier spell, perhaps, into the second half of the month, before we do turn definitively milder late on, really towards the final week of February. Obviously, the Atlantic is through there, and so we are bringing in westerly winds. But, it looks like it's a real old job to get things to warm up on the 6th there, definitely. This is how the GEM is looking, again, high pressure to our northeast, low pressure to our west, drawing up the air from a cold, very cold, southerly southeasty source on Friday. That goes on into the weekend as well. Turns a little bit milder, I think, for Ireland, Western Scotland, but most places still drawing the air in off the continent, still frozen, therefore, through the weekend. Into the early part of next week, again, these milder southerly winds are trying to get in, but it's a slow old process. It's a painful job to do it, and so I think there is a prospect as we bring weather from across the country, maybe of some snow, maybe of some freezing rain even. Then we move on through the course of next week. We start to bring wind in off the Atlantic definitively then, so it does turn milder with the GEM through the course of next week. Notice high pressure is there over Scandinavia though, so we're not all that far from keeping it cold. But the GEM also turns things milder through the course of next week after a slow, painfully slow old process. Let's have a look at ICON. So Icon's looking again very cold with southeast winds on Friday. We go through into Saturday. Again, we're drawing up those cold southerly southeast winds. Will be raw with cold continental air on Saturday, and probably into Sunday as well, although west airs may start to turn milder by Sunday. Generally, I think it is a cold weekend that we've got coming up, with more severe and with the strength of that southerly southeast wind penetrating frost. Into next week, maybe starting to get a little bit milder. Of course, next week it might involve weather that could bring snow, maybe freezing rain even. Eventually, Icon starts to move this low pressure closer to us, so it begins to go milder, although high pressure is still ridging over Scandinavia, not completely breaking out of that Scandi high. So as we get through to, as far as we go with Icon, is to 180 hours, which is Tuesday 16th of February. I mean, we are milder now. We've broken through like a southwesterly to southerly, so it will be milder, it will be thawing out. But still, high pressure heights are relatively high over Scandinavia, so we need to see what's going on there. We are probably drawing up warm air advection, by the way, which is inflating this ridge over Scandinavia. And then we've got the ECMWF looking like that. So again, bitterly cold on Friday, staying cold really into the weekend, despite the southerly wind. The air is south of east, or east of south, so it will be very cold into the weekend. Early next week, it gradually starts to turn milder as low pressure breaks through from off the Atlantic Ocean. It's a slow process, but eventually we will lift the temperature up and may even get temperature into double figures there by the that stage of next week. That high pressure over Germany is drawing up quite a mild southwesterly type flow from like Spain and the Canary Islands there. So by the end of next week, that will lift temperatures into double figures and a taste of spring. These are the options on the table in the ECM Ensemble today for day 10. Gets us to the 19th of February. We have 16 members of the ECM Ensembles, including the control and the operational room, that have low pressure to the west, high pressure to the east, and so therefore we're drawing up potentially quite a mild at this point southerly to southwesterly wind. 15 with high pressure to our southeast, low pressure to our northwest. Winds again coming up from a southwest direction. That's going to be pretty mild. Bit of shift in the ECM ensemble today to turn things milder by day 10. 11, keep it cold. These 11 here, keep it cold and blocked with wind remaining from a cold easterly direction. And then the 9 just here have high pressure towards Greenland and to our east and south, low pressure out to west. And this will bring up more of a southwesterly type wind. So that's going to be milder as well, I think. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Let's see how many of them keep it mild. This gets us to the 24th of February. Have 15 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our south. They're going to draw up a milder, a very mild southwesterly wind. 11 with high pressure just to the north of Scotland will bring in a cold easterly wind. 9, very, very blocked between Greenland and Scandinavia. Low pressure is to the south. Winds are being drawn in from a bitterly cold easterly direction, but low pressure south could deliver snow. 8 with low pressure over top the country. That's going to be very unsettled, wet and windy, probably quite mild. And another 8 just here, again with high pressure. Somewhere to the north of Scotland, winds back in from the east. That's going to be cold. So, I mean, it's a real old split, isn't it? You've got 15 there that are mild, combined with the 8 just here that are mild. And they've got 11 just there, that's going to be dry and anticyclonic. 8 there, but will be cold with east winds. 9 just there, but are going to be cold with east winds as well. If you put the 11 there with the 9 there and the 8 there, probably favouring a cold outcome, really, within the ECM ensembles by 2 weeks out. Lastly, having at CFSV2, these are 500 millibar heights breaking down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 9th to the 15th of February. The coming week, we'll have northern blocking within the northern latitudes. High pressure towards Greenland, low pressure will be to our south. Winds will be coming in from a cold east direction to be cold and wintry then in the week ahead. Week 2 is going to take us from the 16th to 22nd of February. Again, blocking to the north, low pressure to west-southwest. Winds remain cold, maybe a little bit more southeasterly, but I would have thought that's still pretty cold again in the second week. Week 3 could be milder. This is the 23rd of February to the 1st of March. High pressure over and to the east of the country. Still with northern blocking, but just starting to draw up something milder from the south. So that might deliver a little taste of spring right at the end of February. But then look what happens. We go through to week 4, which is the 2nd to the 8th of March. The blocking strengthens around Greenland again. Low pressure pushes southwards, and we go back to square one, back into those cold easterly or northeast winds again for the beginning of March and meteorological spring. It's all to be revealed. It's all to be seen. We may turn things milder next week, but how long it lasts, I don't think even that's completely guaranteed. And how long it lasts, just remains to be seen. Right, if you enjoyed this video, please can you smash your like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to your friends, family, everybody else who subscribe as well. We're on the grind to 11k subscribers. Thank you so much for doing that. If you sub, you're going to be able to see future weather content. And don't forget to tell your friends about Gaz, as I've already said. Drop a comment and let us know what you think also about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, that's it then. We're going to be back later on Ensembles Watch. We'll go through all members of the GFS Ensemble to see what they're all showing. For next week, will they all be showing it going milder? Will some of them keep it cold? Will there be a shift within the GFS ensembles from milder to colder? We'll find out. It will be revealed tonight around 8ish, I would have thought. And probably have a quick look at 12 as well. For this video, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.